Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about whether you should run when you're sick or not. I've been sick for the last couple of days. I haven't run Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Tuesday, so I'm hoping to get out and do a couple of kilometers today, maybe just 3 easy kilometers, because I feel like I've kind of got over what the sickness that I'm on, or I've passed the threshold of the sickness and I feel like I'm ready to get back out and running. Before I get into talking about whether you should run when you're sick or not, we should really discuss briefly first. I suppose sometimes I talk about this as the meaning of life, and it's like when you wake up in the morning, life presents you with a finite amount of obstacles that you need to overcome, stress obstacles. So as soon as you get out of bed in the morning, you've got stressors that start to play an impact on your life, and some of these can be emotional stress, psychological stress, internal and external environmental stresses, just stresses all across life. But one of the big stresses that we deal with, especially anybody watching this channel, is physical stress. So physical stress, we know from tons of research that it's quite good. It's actually very good for you. Astronauts up on the space station can't stay up there for, I think, more than 60 to 90 days because gravity's not playing an impact on them. So their physical stress goes down really low. And we know that without any physical stress, the body starts to fall apart pretty quickly. So physical stress is really good. So that comes to the dilemma, is that if you're sick, should you just take a rest and knock it on the head and not take your physical stress? Or do you continue with your physical stress? Because remember, any sort of sickness is just an extra stress on the body, or it's a stress that we've been dealt that we can't deal with. Usually it's our neuroimmune system just can't overcome it, or it's taking a little bit longer to overcome it than what it would normally do. So that then begs the question, should we stop running when we get sick, or should we maintain our running and try and keep our physical fitness going while we navigate our way through the sickness? I guess in life, the correct answer usually is it depends. I would say there's two real determining factors in that depends. The first one will be, it depends on how sick you are or what your sickness is. Only about 3 weeks ago, I had some sort of weird virus. I didn't run for most of that week. And now again, I feel that I've been struck down. So, like I said, the question is, what is your sickness? So I would say if you've got like a mild cold or a mild flu, you might be fine to keep running. It might be fine to keep going. If you have some sort of systemic sickness like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, a flare-up of some sort of diabetic episode, or I don't know, if you're struggling with some sort of systemic or diagnosed autoimmune disease, well then maybe that's it, might be a bit much of a stress to put in your body. So like I said, it depends on what the sickness is. And the other thing then that depends on is, it depends on where you were with your training. So I haven't ran this week. I just took 5 days off because I was feeling very much under the weather. I had shivers, runny nose, a bit of a sore throat. And because I'm not really doing any real structured training, I decided to just have a few days off, give my body time to recover and to adapt and to try and take hold of whatever it is that's got into my system and fight it. If, however, I was in the middle of marathon training or Ironman training and my fitness was up to quite a high level, I would have kept training for a couple of days and seeing if my body was fighting it, if it was going well, then I would just keep training, maybe just knock the intensity out of training and keep going. Sometimes stopping isn't always the option, you know. Sometimes stopping can cause more stress, more kind of worry, more anxiety for the person if they have put in a big training block and they are almost at the goal, they are almost at the finish line, ready, or at the start line, ready to get going into their event. And then you come along and say to them, look, you need to stop because you're a little bit sick. That can actually, cause a lot of psychological and emotional trauma. A lot of stress can build up as a result of that, and the person can actually end up worse off. So the real question is, you need to decide for yourself whether it's appropriate in life for you to take the rest. Is the sickness a little bit of stress, a little bit too much in the system that you need to say, you know what, I need to just back it off and give myself a few days? Is it a point in your training like me where it's like, you know what, there's not really much importance in doing a lot of running now, so I might as well just take the time to give myself the time to recover? Or are you in the middle of a training block and it's like, you know what, I really need to keep this going, taking a few days off now doesn't suit, maybe you had it down the week before, and saying having another week, it's just gonna, it's not gonna have a positive effect. So like I said, it all depends on where you are and what you're doing. It is tough sometimes to take time off from your running. I kind of struggled a few days this week. Like I say, sometimes I pride myself in the fact that I hate running. A lot of times I just want to stop and sit down and drink coffee, or go to a nice coffee shop and sit down and have a coffee and a scone and just watch the world go by. And sometimes when we're running, you know, it gets in the way of some of the things we want to do in life, but I suppose that's the sacrifice, and that's kind of what brings us all back to make those sacrifices in order to get those goals come race day. So there is that dichotomy sometimes of, you know, am I doing the right thing, or am I doing the right thing for my body? Am I progressing my health? Is this really what needs to be done at the moment? Or is it a case of saying, you know what, let's just knock it back and just take time and do those things that we like? And fortunately for me this week, although it feels like I've been sick since December, I haven't. It kind of feels that way. But I suppose getting this little bit of a head cold now, I was probably just about to start into doing my base training for marathon this week, and yeah, took a few days off because I didn't need to. So I guess I'm lucky that the sickness came when it did. But I'm glad I'm at the point in my training where getting sick didn't really mean a whole lot. Fingers crossed now that this is out of the way and that I can have a clear summer and autumn and bring myself right up to that marathon, which is the last Sunday of October, and really hit that marathon, hit the ground running and just get to it. So anyway, I hope this answers some questions. I hope it makes it a little bit clearer for some people who wonder sometimes whether they should run when they're sick. How well you deal with those stresses that are impacted on you throughout your day depends on how healthy and how physically fit you can be with your running. If you're able to manage your stress and your stress is all kind of maintained and you can do things that will help you guide your way through the day, it's going to be fine. If the stress at some point becomes a little bit too much for you, you're either going to get sick or you're going to get injured or feel pain. Injury and pain, not necessarily the same thing, but when I talk about injury, I'm just talking about inability to run because of pain or injury. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, please pop them below, or if you'd like to add anything in terms of what you do when you're sick, in terms of training, whether you take time off or whether you keep going, let me know. I'm always curious to find out what you guys are doing. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Remember, run far, run fast, but most of all, run sensible.